Mary's going to turn 50. She makes great money, but she and her hub want to move to Europe. What happens to Social Security if she moves to Europe and doesn't make any money anymore? Will she make any Social Security income? That's what we're going to talk about here. Man, I've been playing with this basic. So I got off a call. Where's my man there? About 5 or 6 hours ago with this. This is a real life couple. Her name is not married to protect the innocent. But we're just crunching the numbers on her Social Security, and her husband brought up, or maybe I forgot. Somebody had brought up the fact that she hadn't made. I don't think she had 35 total years of earned income for Social Security. So how bad that will affect her Social Security benefit if they quit the crappy old jobs and move to Europe? I said, thinking she probably wasn't making that much, and the answer was no. She was making good money. She was making the max for a number of years. So I said, not much. And then I asked if she would mind if I used her specific numbers to do this video. She'd be happy. So again, you don't know who she is, but she does, and her hubby does too. And it's just anyway. So let me show you what I've been doing here. So initially I was doing. I'm a spreadsheet guy, all right. So some of these guys on spreadsheets are freaking insanely good. I am not a good. I can do enough to be dangerous. I probably take 8 million times longer than most people, but I have to get in my head that as I'm doing the spreadsheet stuff, I got to think about it or else it won't matter. So like a lot of people send me spreadsheets, and just if I don't design it, I don't get the gist of it. It's hard. And so for me, I've got to do it even if I'm not doing it as well or as efficiently as others. But that's just the way I understand. So anyway, so let me show you what I'm doing. So you can see here, now Mary is born literally a month after me in 1970. So we're going to use our indexing numbers, and we went to Social Security website, which I shared with you before, and if I remember, I'll put a link in the show notes. And maybe we'll do that real quick. Hold on a sec. Go to this webpage, the indexing factors for Social Security, where they compute a person's benefit, where they use the AWI, Average Wage Index Series, to index that person's earnings. Such indexation ensures that a worker's future benefits reflect a general rise in the standard of living that occurred during his or her working lifetime. So basically what we do is we go, what is your year of eligibility? And that's when you turn 62. In this case, it's going to be 2032. That's when she will turn 62. And then you hit submit request, and you'll see she has an indexing factor right here. And so basically, you copy and paste all this, all right? And you go to a spreadsheet, and you put the indexing factor, what Social Security just gave you. Now, the interesting thing about this is I don't have this, you won't see the spreadsheet, but on my other spreadsheet I have on my other computer, this is almost part and parcel of these numbers what it was last year. And this is interesting to me. I did not know how they do this, but it's interesting. So in 1970, if I can find 1970, it was, hold on just a second, it was a little bit, it's almost identical to these numbers right here. It's just pushed up 1 year, if that makes sense. So in 1970s, I know that doesn't make any sense, but basically what happens is when I ran my own numbers for Social Security, I used the indexing earnings. In fact, on my book, I was using it from 1970, whatnot, because that's when I was born. My earliest year of eligibility, like Mary's, is 2032. So basically what happened is they just pushed these down 1 year. So this used to be 1970, now it's 1971. This used to be 1971, now it's 1972. And that was very interesting. And a lot of those numbers haven't, just changed just a slight amount. So what we do is we extrapolate the indexing earnings from the Social Security website. And again, it's based on your earliest year of eligibility, which is when you become 62 years old. So born in 1970 and thus becoming eligible in 2032 is your earliest year of eligibility. And then what you do is you extrapolate, you take all the data, and this is literally Mary's earnings, and you put it in here. You say, okay, here's my index numbers, 4.64 for anything I made in 1987, 4.42 for anything I made in 1988, and so on and so on. And then you times these together. Now, the interesting thing is, in here, we got to do one. I took off 2020. I'll share why in just a second. But anyway, here, I took it off because we don't know what she's going to make, because hopefully she'll retire. But anyway, long story short, what we do is you'll notice this is the maximum amount. These are the maximum amounts that Mary made in these years. Well, she actually made more than that, but these are the maximum that Social Security charges, that Social Security tax on. So all those are the maximums. We take those earnings and then we times by the index amount. Now, what's going to happen here is from once you hit 60, 2030, 2031, 2032, they no longer index them based on the average wage index. They just give you a cost of living adjustment of whatever the COLA will be, the cost of living adjustment. So we don't know what's going to be. So they're just using one here because it's no longer being indexed. It's going to be cost of living. I know this is confusing as all can be, but it's actually quite important to understand. So what we do is but in this case, we have her quitting her crap-bill job. She's not making any money in 2020, 2021, and so on and so on. So she has nothing. So what we do is we take all these indexed earnings and then we times them all together. And we add them all together. And so what we get is this right here, $4.8 million. That's her total indexed earnings. We divide by 420 to get her AMIE. And then, so I was playing around with it all kinds of different ways and whatnot. And I liked what I came up with. I even adjusted the bend points. I inflated those by 2.5% because the bend points over the last 10 years have inflated by 2.5%, whereas from I can't remember, from the beginning of the bend points, was that 73? I forgot. But anyway, from the beginning when they were using bend points, they were inflated by roughly 4.1% on average, but for the last 10 years, it's been 2.5. So and that, again, don't forget the 70s were high inflation. So I just inflated with a bend point of 2.5. And I said, that's all good. I like what I came up with. That was very comfortable with this. And I said, if you have a bend points inflated at 2.5 and we have the her stopping and we're using the index earnings, I come up with a future date of 3,834 at her full retirement age. But if we don't use future bend points, we just use today's bend points. I have an amount of 3,287 at her full retirement age. It be it as it may, and that's not including cost of living adjustment anyway. And then I said, well, that's all good. And I started playing around with some numbers from Social Security, just kind of validate my numbers, because what you'll see here, in 2003, that was the max earnings for Social Security, taxable Social Security. You times that by the earnings. This would be the indexing amount for someone who's born in 1954, and they're getting an index benefit, which was significantly higher than the maximum of $133,000. I'm just doing this to kind of validate my own numbers, and it all comes good. So basically what I'm trying to say is I just want to make sure there's nothing I'm misleading. So I'm playing around with all this, and I'm pretty comfortable with what I came up with. And I said, forget all that. Let's just throw the software. I said, that's all good to validate my issue that if she quits her job, literally tomorrow, or not literally, but, in real soon, that she won't be leaving anything on the table. And I already know this, don't get me wrong, but it's just like, it's fun to crush the numbers every now and again. I know it's weird, it's fun, but it is. I enjoy it just to kind of re-educate yourself on to see if there's anything you're missing. Because I haven't done a video like this for a while. All right, so in this case, let me show you. So I crunched the numbers in right capital. So what we're going to do is we've got a profile. All right, we're going to look at old Mary. All right, so we got income, and this is Mary. You got Mary and Matt. Mary and Matt sample. You can see sample. All right, so we got Mary and Matt sample, and we're taking her Social Security information directly from her, literally from her, based on historical earnings. And we're saying at the end of the day, this is exactly what she has, starting in 1986. And just going up. All right. So she has, 35, she does have 35 years of earnings. She does. Now, a lot of those years, as you can see, they're not going to pay much. 1996 isn't going to pay much. If we go back to our spreadsheet, the amount she had in 1996 will give us the equivalent of $96,000 today. I mean, so even though it doesn't look like much, that's still pretty doggone good, man. The amount she had in 1992 will give us a equivalent of $71,000 today. So that was literally what she paid into, or not what she paid, but what she was taxed on for Social Security is $19,000, which is the equivalent of $71,000. So they had a whole lot more earnings relative to how Social Security calculates it than I think they anticipated. All right, so we got her. She's going to get a full retirement age of 67. And again, your full retirement age, if you're born after or 1960 and later, is 67. And we're using literally her covered earnings. We're going to say she works no more. Does that make sense? She works no more. And I'm telling you, that's what we're going to say. All right. So then we're going to say she's going to retire at 50. So she is going to retire this year, 2020. She was born. We have her being born in October. It will not matter. We are going to say she's going to retire this year when she's 50 in 2020. All right, so let's just look and see what her Social Security income is going to look like. All right, so I'm going to write this down. I always think those smell. They do. Ooh, those things stink. But then I still smell them. It doesn't make sense. They stink. I still smell them. I don't care about any of this. All I care about is Social Security benefit. All right. So now remember, she stopped working. She stopped working at 50. So stopped at 50. Benefit at 62. Benefit at 67. Benefit at 70. All right. So let's take a gander here, and we're going to go to income inflows. And we're going to go to Social Security. All right, so she is a client, and she stopped working at 50, and she's going to take her benefit at 67. She's going to get $46,000. 46. Let's do that per month. So $46,000 in future money, because we're inflating and all that. I mean, that's literally how you look at that. 38.6. That's pretty sweet. That's almost exactly what I got. That's nuts. That's almost, isn't that pretty doggone close? Exactly what I got. What, look at that. 38.34, 38.62. Oh, Josh, freaking kicking butt and taking name. Because I inflated the bend points. I had her using her indexed earnings on top of what Social Security projects for the next, until she's 60, and then the one. So look at that. I was off by 62 by $28 out freaking. That is stellar. Who's the man with the master plan? DJ Joshy Josh on the mix. All right. That's fantastic. I'm stoked, man. All right. So that's if she stops at 67. I mean, that's if she takes that 67. Let's have her taking it at 62, shall we? So we're going to have her taking it at 62. And let's see what we come up with. All right. So she's going to take it early. 62. Again, this is if she stops working at 50. All right, so 62. Yeah, I'm freaking. I'm stunned I was that close. I knew I was gonna be off a little bit. I just, because you don't know exactly what it's gonna be. I mean, I'm just running some basic spreadsheets, but to be that close, that fires me up, man. So Social Security, if she took out 62, it'd only be 28,534. Now, oops, I keep 28,534. Stopped at 50. So let's go here. 28,534, divide that by 12, and that's $2,300 a month, $2,377 a month. And again, that's in real terms because they're adjusting it with a cost of living adjustments as well. All right, so now let's have her take it at 70, and it should be 4,600 or something like that. Let's take a look. I would think. And we're going to take it at 70. Crack out. All right, and let's see what we got here. So she takes that 70. Her income is going to be at 70 for Social Security cash flows. All right, cash flows. It's going to be income inflows, Social Security, and it's going to be, go up here a little bit. 62. That's going to be 62,067 divided by 12. 51,72. All right. All right, good. So that's if she takes it there. So now, what happens if she works until she's 67? All right, so we're going to have her just work until she's 67. We're going to go to Profile. We're going to go to Goals. And we're going to have her work until she's 67. Oops. That's her full retirement age. And her income was, what did I say was her income right now? 120 something? Yeah, 125. So she's making the income roughly. It's not quite as much as what she really makes, but just to show you what the difference would be if she takes Social Security. I mean, if she quits working at 50 relative to if she continues to work for another 17 years or so, which she does not want to do. You ready? Let's go into this, my friends. All right, so now work till 67. Go to cash flows. And we have her taken at 70 now. All right, because I didn't change that. So we're going to go to income. So watch, you can see these income flows. That's her income. And then when she hits 70 is when her Social Security is going to kick in. And God, I wish it default all years. I don't know why it does 20 years. And her will be 73,000. So 73,555 divided by 12. It'll be 61,29. So it's $1,000 a month difference by her working until 67 and not taking Social Security till she's 70. That doesn't seem well worth it to me, but let's keep going. We'll have her taking it at 67. Goals. Oops, income. And we'll have her take it at 67. So last time she was going to make $38.62 a month. Let's see what it's going to be now. Retirement. Again, she's making $125,000 for the next 17 years. Cash flows. All right, and a crappy old job. Let's see if it's worth it. We're going to go to income, Social Security. Oh, I got to sneeze. Hold on, I just sneezed. So here it would be 54,922 divided by 12. That's 4576. 4576. That's an extra minus 3862. That's an extra $714 a month. I don't know. Does that? I mean, that's $8,400 a year to work. Literally an extra 17 years at $125,000 a year. She'll make an extra $714 a month. Doesn't seem worth it to me, but I'll leave that to you. All right, so let's see if she takes that 62 instead. And income, that won't make sense because she's going to be working. Okay, so as you can see there, for her to work an extra 17 years, 17 years is going to put an extra $700 a month into her Social Security benefit by the time she hits 67. And the reason for that is simple, because what's going to happen is we go to Social Security, we go to income, she'll lose. See, she's going to get a lot of these will be replaced. So she'll replace these lower numbers with higher numbers at 125. In fact, I wonder if I can do that on my, I'm going to try. Let's say we just do 125. And we're just going to go down and drag that. Will do that for me? Yeah, there you go. And what does that do there? That changed it. Yeah, that's, man, what was it? Oh, man, I can't remember what it was before. 3482, I think, or 3824. Yes, 3824. 4483 minus 3824. Look at that. Yeah, man, I got 659. They got 714. Man, I'm freaking spot on with my numbers. That's crazy. I'm pretty proud of myself. Ain't gonna lie. So by her working all those extra years at 125, and this is till she's 62. Oh, that's only till she's 62, and that's why I'm off a little bit. But I'm not even that much. But her work, and that's not without an increase in income either, by the way. So the other one had her working at 67 with an increase in income. I think I had her 3% or something like that. So, I mean, but here's the issue. Oh, actually, not. It's even. I didn't even take the last. Yeah. So also, I got to reduce some of these here too. See, don't pay attention to these numbers here because I didn't. I didn't take the lower. I have to reduce these guys. So we got how many extra years? We've got anything that's less than 125. So if she goes to 2031 to it'd be to 1996 basically. So we'd want to reduce these here and get rid of that. That's right. I think that should be pretty close. Yeah, 4319. Yeah, there you go. Right on. That should be pretty close. That's 1996 to 2031. 2031 minus 1996. Yeah, 35 years. Sweet. That's perfect. So in this case, it's going to be 4319. 43. Yeah, man, spot on without having a cost of living adjustment. I mean, an increase in income. So I'm literally spot on with what these guys. I mean, I'm stoked because look, you take your top 35 of years, you index them, and then that's what you get. So you take your top 35 of years of earnings. You times it by this index factor. You add those together. You get this amount, 6.24 million. Divide that by 420 months, which it gives you your average index monthly earnings. Look, if I got this may or may not make sense. I got tons of videos on how to calculate this from the very beginning. Or you could buy my course. Just buy my course. $500 is worth it. I'm telling you. Well, it's worth it, I think. Or else I want to charge you $500. But then you own it for sure. You have access to the course at your discretion. Just buy the stupid course. And you get 30 days. If you don't like it, you get it. You get your money back. But anyway, you buy the course. It has all how you figure this out, step by step by step by step by step. That way you don't have to go through almost 2,500 videos. But anyway, so in that case, when we index the bend points with 2.5% increases like the last 10 years, we get 43.19, which is pretty close to what they got. They got 45.76, and again, they have her work until 67 in right capital, and we have it increasing for a 2% cost of living or 3% inflation. So the point about that is it worth it to work an extra 17 years? So 17 years, and we're just saying 2,500 hours a year because we got commute and all that. So 2,500 hours a year times 17. That's 42,500 hours to get an extra, we're just going to say $7,000 a month a year. So let's say she lives until she's 87. So 7,000 times 20. She'll make an extra $140,000 in Social Security benefits, not adjusting for inflation. And she's going to work an extra 42,500 hours. That's the equivalent of $3.29 an hour. No way. There's no way that's worth it. Oh, so Mary, get out of Dodge and go to Europe, for heaven's sake. Stop and working now. And that's working until you're 67. If you work till you're 62, let's have her work until she's only 62, just to show you. We'll have her stop. Don't do this because it defeats, why? But 62 years old. We'll have her stop at 62. And then let's see what her Social Security would be at her full retirement age at 67. Yeah, I already got that. Cool. So let's go. So now she's stopping at 62. Her full retirement age Social Security benefit, it was $38.62 if she stopped at 50, $45.76 if she stopped at 67, or what will be if she stops at 62? 53. Hold on a sec. 53710. 4475. 4475. So, there's absolutely no reason to work until she's 67, for heaven's sake, because that will only give her an extra $101. So, so now you're saying, okay, should she work an extra 12 years for another $600 a month? No. I think the proof is in the pudding, my friends. Hang them up, Miss Mary, and go to Europe with the hubby and enjoy it. All right, we'll see you. Thanks now.